So we will just wait another minute or two to see that. Wow. Already 16 or 18 people. Wow, England. Brazil. We're already on 4 or 5 continents. Yeah.
I have one comment I'd like to make.
Yes.
I just received the notice of this meeting a couple of hours ago. It was very fortunate that I happened to be free. It would be helpful if I knew about it farther in advance.
So we'll make this once a month, hopefully, if art is available.
Yeah.
Maybe we can choose right now, art, what will be good for you, like first Tuesday of the month or something like that.
About once every 5 years would be the best for me, but I'm willing to do anything you want to do.
Okay, so let's say first Tuesday of the month.
Okay, whatever you say.
But this is not good timing for New Zealand or Australia?
Yeah.
So,
It's okay.
so
It's okay.
we can make one special just for Oceania. Yeah. So we are how many people? 17 people. So I think we can start slowly, if you don't mind. Maybe just a short introduction of each of you, just for like 15-20 seconds. Jim Beckford, please.
Okay, I'm Jim Beckford. I'm just south of Daytona Beach, Florida. My background is I'm a table tennis coach. I am not a very good organizer. I currently have an informal program going that's attached to a disabled recreation program. I'm just getting a good group of people with Parkinson's that are enjoying playing, and I'm still struggling for a time and place and et cetera to turn it into something really organized.
Okay, thank you. Jerry Brower.
Yes.
Few sentences about who you are.
Sure. My name is Gary Brower, and I'm part of the Robert Conte Foundation here in College Station. And the Robert Conte Foundation is a local nonprofit that's dedicated to serving people with Parkinson's and other movement disorders. And we have a Rocksteady boxing program that's growing here, and we wanted to grow out into Ping Pong Parkinson because we have some definite interest and in that area. So that's what we're doing.
Thank you. Shalake.
Yes, hello everybody. I'm not in any program at right now, but I've been invited to Slovenia by Nenad, so I hope to be in Slovenia in October to do some good job together there.
Thank you so much. You are a supporter of People Parkinson already. And Shalake is the famous coach, national team of Sweden. And he coached his brother, Jan Waldner, who everybody knows. So I'm very much honored. So Liz France from New Zealand.
Kia ora. So nice to be here. Thank you. I am a table tennis player, and I am also a researcher on Parkinson's disease for over 2 decades. So I found this to be a unique combination of things to put together. So I'm thrilled to be here and to try to assist in whatever way I can. Thank you.
Wonderful. Mindy Hill.
I am Mindy Hill. I'm from Wichita, Kansas, and I am an occupational therapist working with a nonprofit called Club Parkinson's. We have classes 5 days a week for people with Parkinson's and their caregivers, including education and lots of exercise classes. And we would like to add ping pong. So that's why I'm here.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you. Hannes.
Yes. Hi, everybody. So my name is Hannes. I'm a table tennis coach, and I've been working with mostly with adults. And last year I started working with the Alzheimer and the Parkinson Foundation in Iceland. I was training them twice a week, and now I have been doing this on my own for the spring semester, and I will have classes in the autumn. And then I have excellent facilities for free, and I have some assistants as well. My plan is to start with, say, hopefully 3 to 4 groups of both Parkinson's and Alzheimer's next year. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I ask where you are from, Hannes?
Eugen Mers.
I'm from Iceland.
Iceland, thank you.
Yeah, hi. Grüezi miteinander. I come from Switzerland. And that's my daughter. She translates for me in English. I speak not very good English. We will change the speaking. Kannst du dir sagen, ich mache seit 1 Jahr jetzt mit Parkinson, arbeite viel Trainer und Präsident PingPongParkinson Schweiz.
He's working for since 1 year as a coach of Parkinson people who play table tennis, and he's also a table tennis coach since many years. He works together with the patients, the therapists, and
Machen Vorträge.
Ja.
Kannst du das sagen?
He's good.
Aha,
He's good.
macht nichts. Aber vielleicht noch, dass ich von
He's
PingPongParkinson
the
Schweiz.
president of Ping-Pong Parkinson in Switzerland. And yes.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much.
No problem.
So, Jason Lang.
Hey everyone, I'm Jason. I'm the Parks and Rec Director for East Goshen Township, which is in Westchester, PA. We're about 30 miles outside of Philadelphia, suburban community. And, you know, as a Parks and Rec Director, we do a lot of different health and wellness initiatives with our residents. And about 3 weeks or so ago, a resident came to me with the idea of Ping Pong Parkinson's and said, it's a wonderful program. You really want to get involved. And later this afternoon, we're actually going to hold our first session. We have a lot of interest in it, so we're excited for today.
Thank you, Jason. So, Lucy Nelson.
I'm Lucy. I'm from Westchester, PA. I actually recently just graduated from Clemson University in South Carolina. I'm back home for the summer. I actually recently just started working under Jason Lang for the East Goshen Parks and Rec Department, so I'll be joining their program.
Thank you very much. Karen, nice meeting you, Karen.
Hello, Anand. My name is Karen.
I have also, before you say anything, I have good news. Somebody called me from Dubrovnik who knows somebody in America who is young has 28 years and got Parkinson. And I asked them, where are they from? Los Angeles, New York, where? And they said they're from Madison, Wisconsin. So I said, perfect, we have there Ping-Pong Parkinson. So we'll connect you with her.
Excellent, thank you. Yes, I have Parkinson's disease. I started our group meeting twice a week on March 23rd, 2023. We recently had a 1-year anniversary. Our program is about 20 people on Thursdays and maybe 5 to 8 people on Sundays.
Thank you. Thank you, Karen. Karen is exceptionally good leader and wrote a number of documents for how to start chapter, and thank you very much. So Helen.
There's stuff in the kitchen.
Yeah. Helen, can you hear me?
Yep. Hi, I'm in Australia and I'm just interested to find out more about this. Maybe I can start something in Queensland in Australia. At the moment, I mostly work with people with autism, but I'm a little bit aware of Parkinson's.
Thank you, Helen. Bill Quinn.
Hello all, I'm Bill Quinn. I live in East Goshen Township, just 30 miles west of Philadelphia. I'm a table tennis enthusiast. Jason is starting up a program in our township, and I'm seeing if I can help out with that.
Fantastic, fantastic. Thank you so much. Jerry Houghton.
Hello, Jerry Houghton, Bedford, England. My wife has Parkinson's, and we both run a Parkinson's table tennis group on a Monday on a weekly basis. 10 months now it's been running, very successful. People enjoy it and come back for more.
Thank you, Jerry. Jerry is a good friend, and Liz is our poet for Ping Pong Parkinson. So you will know about her more. Thank you, Jerry. Katia.
Hi everyone, I'm Katia from Malta. So I'm a table tennis coach, and we have started since nearly 2 years ago with a group of people with Parkinson's training at my club. We have a small group, but we're growing, and we're participating in the World Championships also. And I'm here because I want to give the best I can to the persons who are training with us. That's basically it.
Thank you, Katia. Say hello to Malta.
I will.
Okay. Marta Baranzak, if I'm pronouncing it correct.
It's correct, thank you. Please don't mind that we are standing on our heads. I don't know how to correct it, but I'm speaking on behalf of my friend Krzysztof, who is a table tennis coach, and he's running trainings with some 15 participants regularly twice a week in Warsaw. So we would like to know more about your activity. And last year we were in Austria during the championships, and we are eager to know more about your activity. Thank you.
Okay, we'll connect. We'll start the program soon. Thank you. This is Wilhelm.
Hi, I'm Jess Willamy. I work with Jason Lang at East Goshen Township. Just here on this training to see what we need to do to be able to offer this to our residents.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Albert. You should unmute if you can. Can you hear us, Albert? Hello? Anyway, I think we are fine. So let's start with Art. I have to introduce you to Art Dubow. Art Dubow is co-founder of Ping Pong Parkinson. He's my partner. Yes, hello?
Sorry to interrupt. Ninad, Albert wrote a note in chat. So if you want to open up chat, you'll be able to see what he wrote.
Sorry. I don't have a camera or microphone right now. Sorry, my name is Albert, and I'm a board member of CTT. Les Borges, that's Catalonia club near Barcelona. I was there. Oh, Albert. Hello, Albert. I know you. Excellent. We'll read. Everybody can read this, yeah? So, welcome, Albert. Good not to see you, but good to read you. So, anyway, thank you, Karen. So, Art Dubow is a physician, retired, and he developed a program with me of Ping Pong Parkinson therapy. We tried a lot of things, and some things didn't work, and some things worked. But in any case, he's a great coach. Has a strange sense of humor, but you will hear it first, probably in the first sentence. But anyway, microphone is yours, Art. Tell us what you know.
Thanks. I want to welcome everybody from all over the world. It's an honor to be talking to you all. I hope this can be of some value. First of all, I want to apologize for my picture. As you can see, my lighting director is not too good. He didn't show up. He's only got me on half a face. It's only lit half the face. And obviously the makeup artist didn't help me either. So I want to apologize for those two guys. You know, you can't trust anybody these days. They just, you can't get good help. Anyway, I am Nenad's helper. He gives me credit that I don't deserve. He's the guy who started this all, and he started it approximately eight years ago. We are a Ping Pong Parkinson flagship chapter. That means we were the first to get it off the rails, and we started in a place called Pleasantville, New York, where we still are at. Pleasantville happens to be the location of the largest ping pong or table tennis center in North America by square area. It's owned by the crossword editor of the New York Times, Will Shorts, and he has been very helpful in providing us with the facility to use, and at cost that we were able to make it possible. The facility that we have is better than most of you will ever conceive of. First of all, the equipment that we have are the best. The ceilings here are 22 feet. The tables are double happiness tables. They're rainbow type arch tables that cost $2,500 a piece. The lighting are recently updated with LED type tubes. So we're lucky like that. Most of you are not going to have facilities that we have. We have a dedicated place. I just heard from one of you all that said you don't exactly know where you're going to set up. We don't have that particular problem. I realize, though, that many of you will be in churches and schools and in some places where the ping pong tables are not there all the time. But we're lucky in Pleasantville. As I said, we started 8 years ago, and Nenad just mentioned that we have changed over the course through trial and error. We have really changed the way we do things. What I would like to tell you today is basically the model that we use. I'll tell you what we expect from the leadership or the coaches, or what would be the best for people who have Parkinson. Before I start, however, I want to tell you this should be informal. If you have any questions, please just interrupt me. If you have anything you want to say on what I'm talking about at the time, be free just to interrupt, and we'll try to make it as informal. It's better that way. If somebody asked us what we're there for, I would use one word. I don't know if you remember the movie The Graduate. This guy comes over to Dustin Hoffman, and he says, gives him life advice. He says, raising his finger, he says one word. He says plastics. And in Citizen Kane, the guy whispers one word. He says rosebud. And you know what? If somebody asked me to say in one word to encapsulate what we do in Ping Pong Parkinson, I would say dopamine. Dopamine, as all of you know, is the neurotransmitter that's lacking in Parkinson, that's deficient in Parkinson's disease. If we do anything, we promote the production of dopamine. I think most of you are probably familiar with the term neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity means basically a rewiring that improves the production of dopamine. There are some researchers who even say that the exercise that comes forth from people with Parkinson exercising can produce neurogenesis. That means producing new dopaminergic cells, new cells that produce dopamine. That's a little bit more, there may be some question relating to that, but there's no question that the research has established that exercise programs do produce dopamine, and there is improvement. You can stop the progression of Parkinson by doing exercise, which turns out to be just as important as levodopa and the other meds. Whether it can reverse the effects of Parkinson is a little bit more controversial. Nenad's neurologist, famous guy from Columbia Presbyterian Hospital in New York, says it's so. And I don't have any reason to doubt it. But the ultimate, the conclusions are that this is a very important thing for people who have this disease to be involved in, an exercise program. Question? I hear somebody asking a question. No? Okay. In any case, so that's what we're there for. So we have done this for 8 years, and through trial and error, we have changed. In the beginning, we were exclusively ping pong. We learned that ping pong by itself, however well it's adapted with certain attributes, is not perfect. And there is no perfect sport, including rock steady boxing or any other, swimming, running, rowing, dancing, and weightlifting. All of these sports are fine and they're good for exercise, but they should be combined. The way to think about this is like a vegan who has to combine certain foods to get a whole bunch of amino acids to make all the proteins that a body requires. It requires a combination. That's in effect what's happened to us over the course of our 8 years. We started out, as a lot of you have indicated, with just a few people. And we started out with only exclusively using ping pong, but we changed, as I said, we changed over time. So now we are an hour and a half. We started out with just 1 hour. I don't think beyond an hour and a half is going to, would be very productive. In any case, what I'd like to do is tell you about what we would expect from the leadership, and then I'm going to tell you about what we actually do. The leadership or the coaches have to have certain characteristics or certain traits, certain personalities, and certain skills that are good for the program. Number one, and this is not necessarily in the order of the importance, they have to have a certain compassion and respect. That should be part of their personality for people that they're dealing with. And I'm talking about all the volunteers. If you recruit volunteers, if I had to pick the traits that I think are the most valuable, it's nice people who know how to socialize and know how to interact with other people in a respectful manner. The people we choose also have to be knowledgeable. They have to be knowledgeable in ping pong. They have to be knowledgeable about Parkinson's disease. They have to know a lot of different things. They have to have skills, but not everybody's going to have all of the skills, which is why you need a cadre of individuals. In certain respects, the coach has to be a drill sergeant. He's also got to be a border collie, because sometimes you may need a megaphone, you may need a whistle, or you may need a cattle iron. A cattle iron, for some of you foreigners may not know, but it's an electric bar which makes the cattle or the sheep do what you want them to do. Because sometimes you're going to find a lot of the people are recalcitrant, and you have to nudge them along to do the things that are beneficial for them, even though they're having fun playing ping pong. Sometimes you gotta interrupt them and say we're ready for the next part of the program. In any case, you need more than one person for backup. It's very important that to know that there are going to be people who are out on vacation. There are going to be people who get sick, and there are all kinds of reasons why you're going to need people to do many things when you are not there to carry on the program. More than one person is absolutely essential. The other kind of traits that would be good, someone who is passionate about helping other people, someone dedicated to the program. And that's basically a general way of describing the kind of person that we would want as a volunteer. Now, we're lucky because we can recruit volunteers. And by the way, the idea would be one-to-one, one volunteer for every person with Parkinson's. But it's almost impossible. It would be, I can tell you, even for us, where we draw from a club membership, it's very hard to get volunteers. In the beginning, we were dragooning them. We were hitting them over the head and bringing them in. Like the British Navy used to do when they used to impress sailors. They used to hit them over the head and take them on, put them on a ship for 2 years. Sometimes we tried to cajole people, and sometimes we had to ask them a little bit more firmly. And we did get volunteers, so we have them, and some of them are quite good. We have a professional who teaches ping pong as one of the instructors, but we also have several other very good ping pong players who are good teachers. So we do have instruction provided by a lot of competent people. That's very important. You won't be able to do that by yourself if you're just alone. You need help in doing that. What we do is have the people with the least skill. They are the ones who get the instruction to begin with. And as they improve, they move up the ladder and they can play with the other people. But in the beginning, they have to get one-to-one instruction. I'll tell you about that in a little bit too. So the idea is you're going to need help, and the more the merrier. In terms of the format, let me just say that it's changed. We are now, as I've indicated and had said, eclectic. It's not just ping pong. Ping pong is the thrust of what we do, but it's not the only thing. The first thing we do when we meet is we sit around in a circle in chairs, very comfortable, and we have about approximately 35 to 40 people meet every week where we are, and we do an introduction. We do announcements. If anybody has anything to say, an event coming up, for example, would be announced. It might be medical news that happens to relate to Parkinson's disease or something important like that. And then we do introductions. For all new people, this is part of the leadership. You have to have a sense, you must create the ambiance, a sense where they're welcome, where it's warm and it's something that they can, where they want to be. We make sure all new people get applause. We actually clap when we introduce new people. It's an important part of the introduction. If people have been gone for several months, we do the same thing. We bring them in and we give them a nice round of applause. After that, and this whole thing only takes 5 to 7 minutes for this intro part of the program, which begins at 7:30, by the way, in the evening on a Wednesday. After we do that, everyone in the group, all 35 to 40 people, introduce themselves. In effect, it becomes an exercise, a vocal exercise, because we ask them to say their names out loud. We go around completely. When this is complete, we begin the second phase of the program. We're now approximately 20 to 8.
Just small interruption. We start every session with the number of the program. That's the first words out.
I'm sorry, I forgot that. This last week, we actually introduced session number 318. We've been around every week except during the COVID crisis. We haven't missed a week for the last 8 years. Okay, so after this part of the program is finished, the introduction, which is important, we do an exercise warm-up. We didn't do this in the beginning, but we found out that it was important and people wanted it anyhow. This consists of a melange, a mixture of different forms of exercise. You can pick and choose We stretch. We do combination and some dancing steps. We do some yoga involved, some Tai Chi, some Qigong, everything. It's a mixture, but we also do a little aerobic exercise. Remember, ping pong, whatever you say about ping pong, what it lacks is aerobic exercise. Beginning ping pong is not aerobic. The only exercise you get when you start out playing beginning ping pong is picking up the balls. And afterward, it can be aerobic if you achieve a much more sophisticated skill level, but a lot of them don't. There is also lacking any weight bearing or resistance training in ping pong. So we augment that during this exercise program. In fact, NENED has purchased weights. We actually make sure that every person with Parkinson gets at least a 2-pound weight in each hand for this first 8 to 10 minute calisthenics period, this warm-up period. And they do some weight-bearing exercises during the exercise. Not completely weight-bearing, but some of it. At least they get a little bit of that. So that is run by our pro. We have the advantage of hiring a pro to actually do the exercise. And by the way, he does it accompanied by music, and people enjoy it. So it's fun. It's not one of those things where you're doing jumping jacks and killing yourself and not looking forward to it. It's fun. People like it. After that 10 minutes, approximately 10-minute period of this warm-up, we all go back to the chairs for a 5-minute ping pong instructional unit. This is done by one of the instructors. And it could be anything about teaching a stroke, a forehand, a backhand, a push, a chop, or anything. It could be teaching service, but it also could be teaching the jargon of ping pong. They learn different words. They might learn what a twiddle is. They might learn what a flick is, what a dead ball is. They might learn all kinds of stuff that they should acquire because they are now becoming ping pong players. We teach them the rules. We teach them about the equipment. We teach them even some physics, why a ball with spin on it will stay on the table. The Magnus effect, if you haven't heard it. We actually teach them that. Whether they retain that or not, I have doubts. But it's an interesting thing that they should know about it, at least have heard about it. So we do all of those things too. After this 5-minute instructional period is done, the most important segment of the whole process, of the whole session begins. It's the ping pong segment. It's 45 minutes. And there is one person who is appointed to make assignments for every person who has come into the room, including volunteers. Everybody will be assigned to play with somebody. Everybody will be assigned a table. Now we are lucky. We have 6 tables in a very large room with plenty of backcourt and everything. But with 40 people, that's not adequate. We are permitted to spill over into the big room where there are endless tables there. You're going to face a problem because you're going to have few tables, and a lot of you will not have an adequate number to accommodate the number of people who eventually will join you. So what you will end up doing is what we did. You're going to have to play doubles, and you're going to have to rotate. Some people might have to wait and rotate. You can do it quickly by having the people play games or whatever it is that they desire to do in terms of this ping pong segment. But it lasts for 45 minutes, and sometimes it's hard to get them away. This is when you need the cattle prod, because they love to play, and that's what they're there for, but they don't want to get out of there. So you have to try to use a little humor, and one way to do it is you go in there about 3 minutes before the time is up, and you say, 3 minutes, And then about 10 seconds later, you say, 2 minutes and 50 seconds. And they get the idea. You got to get them back, because in those 3 minutes later, it's time now. It's now 8:30 and it's time for juggling. Why did we pick juggling as one of the activities for augmenting the ping pong? Well, it turns out juggling is especially adaptable and beneficial for people with Parkinson because it's hard. One of the elements that you're going to find out that is required in teaching or coaching is that if it's easy, it's not good, because that's not the way you make dopamine. You make dopamine with new things, and it's got to be difficult. Don't be happy that you have reached a status quo. You have to keep moving forward. You got to keep. If a guy knows how to hit a push, teach him how to do a chop in ping pong. If he knows how to hit a topspin serve, teach him how to hit an underspin serve. The idea is never to stop with new novel activities, because that's not a good idea. Now, what you see Nena doing in the background is juggling. Everybody can become a juggler, except the most advanced Parkinson patients who are in wheelchairs. We throw balls at them. It's a kind of simple juggling. But everybody who is motivated and who perseveres can end up doing a 3-ball cascade. Doesn't mean they're going to join the circus. They're not going to join Barnum and Bailey, but they can teach their grandkids how to do it. It's like teaching them how to ride a bike. It's something they can be proud of and something that they will remember for a long time. It's a good skill, and it's good that we have a guy with Parkinson who became our primary instructor for that. I want to tell you that you need backup for everything, and we have backup people for the juggler. If the main juggler instructor doesn't come, we have a couple of people who can teach it, who we hold in reserve. So there's always some kind of backup. If there are people who resist the juggling because at that time they're too tired or they resist, we have boxing. Rock steady boxing is a very good thing for people with Parkinson because it's aerobic and it's cognitive too in terms of following orders. They tell you when to jab, when to hit an undercut, everything. We do that. We have bought focus mitts. Those are the mitts that somebody holds that you hit. And I think we may have 4 or 5 people during this 15-minute segment who prefer to do this than the juggling. And we do it. We have a volunteer who does the focus, who holds the focus mitt and tells them how to hit it. So we have that. At the conclusion of the, and by the way, I have to say that we have recently bought some scarves. There are some people who, when they're starting out, need slow juggling, and the scarves fit them because using balls or sacks is a little harder to begin with. But as I say, everybody can do it eventually if they want to and if they try. The last 15 minutes are my favorite. This is the part of the program where we get together as a group sitting down. We were never intended as a social group, social support group, but it's inevitable that it will turn out to be something of that nature anyway. And that's a very good thing for people with Parkinson. There are a lot of people who live alone, and if a person with Parkinson is isolated, he's basically in trouble. They end up with depression and anxiety, and it accelerates dementia as well. So it's a very important thing for everybody to attend the group, whether they do anything, whether they play well or it doesn't make any difference. The idea of just attending becomes important. It's a social thing. And when people have similar problems, they talk to each other. So it becomes a very important part of, it's an intangible We never intended, as I say, to become a social support group, but it's a very good thing. We sit around in a circle, everybody is handed out a page of lyrics. You have a question, Karen? No. Everybody.
Yeah, I do. You've listed a lot of things that your group does.
Yeah.
And there are some barriers for our group because we don't. I can't carry all those weights with me, and we're renting space at a place that's shared by many communities. So we have to keep our cache of stuff small. And I'm wondering if is there a minimum of things that we would be expected to lead? Like for our group, we actually start with the juggling, and then we do facial exercises, and we do vocal exercises, and then large muscle stretches, and then we dive into the ping pong, and the ping pong takes the rest of the period.
I understand that. We started out without weights for many, many years too. We didn't have anything either kind. And you could do it. You can make do with what you have, and you have to basically adapt to that situation. It's possible. I mean, people could even bring their own resistant, those rubber things that they have. You could do it any number of ways. It does, but of course you're not going to be able to do everything. I understand that. And that's okay. It's okay. As long as if you're already doing juggling and you're doing facial and vocal exercise, which I'm going to talk about right now because we do that too, and that's a good addition to the main thrust, which is the sport of ping pong.
Oh, just a comment. I think it's important. Like people usually ask me, "Are you ready?" I said, "Never ready, but I'll do it anyway." So you have to start with one table, half of the table, just net anything. Just start playing ping pong. Just start the process, and you will learn as you go. So there is no minimum requirements, Karen. There is no minimum. It's desire. Your desire has to be stronger than pain to start something. And
you're already doing a lot of stuff, Karen. It's good.
Yeah.
So you should feel very proud of the fact that you've adapted these extra things, because some of the groups that have formed don't do that. I would encourage them to do that because I think all of these things are beneficial for people with Parkinson's. I was about to tell you, we hand out in the last 15 minutes, my favorite segment, we hand out lyrics to a song. I would recommend this. You need to have some kind of music box because you're going to have to play a song, and we have people sing. Before we have them sing, we do facial exercises, and we appoint people to do this as volunteers to spread out the load. And we have, within the last 6 months, been asking people with Parkinson's, not the volunteers, to actually lead the group in doing this. To do the facial exercises takes about 3 minutes, and it's well received. We start. It's very simple actually to do those. Then we do vocal exercises. The vocal exercises are also run by a person who has Parkinson's. We do pitch glides. I don't know if you know what that is. It's like beginning with a sound and going up and down, and then we go through all of various sounds as well. And we might even rehearse the song before we sing it. The songs are chosen because for 2 reasons. They are of 2 different types. They are feel-good songs, like the one from Johnny Nash, I Can See Clearly Now. I don't know if everybody knows that song. That is the first song we ever used in our program. It is a beautiful song. It's an optimistic song. And it's a nice melody too. But the idea of it is, it's beautiful to listen to, not just for the melody, but because of the message that comes with it, a message of hope. And I would suggest or recommend, if you're going to choose the first song, that you choose that one. I Can See Clearly Now by Johnny Nash. And by the way, he's not living anymore, but he actually wrote that song and he wrote the lyrics. It's quite beautiful. So we give out the lyrics. The second kind of a song that we choose is one where they can really scream out the lyrics. They can really use their vocal cords. The song doesn't have to be beautiful. The song has to be such that it will make you sing out loud. If you can harmonize with the whole group, that's good. A lot of the Beatles songs, some of the Rolling Stones, those songs tend to be, most of them tend to be good for the kind of thing that we want to promote for singing. Anyway, so we end with that, and that encompasses the hour and a half. But here's the thing. We're lucky. If people want to stay beyond the hour and a half, they're free to play ping pong. And if they also come early. So although the program is an hour and a half, every medical organization will tell you straight out that 90 minutes a week is not sufficient for anyone to get a proper amount of exercise. The minimum is 180 minutes. So they come early, they're permitted to do so. And they can stay in our place till 11 o'clock at night. So plenty of time for them to get extra exercise. For those people who have Parkinson and can't drive, there is an extra day that we have. A smaller group forms, but they don't have the full, they don't follow the full format of the program. But we do have that too, because there's some people who cannot drive at night. It's just as simple as that. If anybody has any questions.
Before we open the microphone for questions, let me introduce Lynn from Sweden. Lynn, please say a few words about yourself. We cannot hear you. We cannot hear you. Microphone is not working. Yeah. No, it's not working. So anyway, you can write it down on the chat. But anyway, let's open the microphone. Anybody have a question for Arthur or myself?
I have a couple, just one or two miscellaneous things that may raise a few questions, and then I'll just.
Yeah.
When we teach people with Parkinson, I want you to keep in mind a couple of things that we've learned. You have to keep the instructions very simple. And another thing, when you play ping pong, when we teach people with Parkinson, we don't teach the way the pros in the big room teach it, because we don't want them moving the same way. In the beginning, people with Parkinson can reach, the table's 5 feet wide. They can reach anywhere, back and forehand, within that 5 feet by not moving their feet. A lot of these people have dyskinesia and they can fall. One of our prime rules is do not cross your legs. We don't want them to. If they have a short shot, we teach them how to move vertically up the table with a movement with one leg or the other, but not crossing the legs. That's an important point. The other point I want to make is about injuries. We've had injuries, not very many, in the course of the 8 years. The rubber floor offers some protection, but we're in our room because we have Japanese sword fighters who rent the room 3 times a week. And by the way, they clean up the blood and the gore. The fact that they are there means that there cannot be rubber or tables so that they have to wheel them out of the way. So people falling on a maple floor can break bones. And we've had a couple of broken wrists and we had a broken hip. You have to be careful and you have to make sure that they're wearing the proper attire. That means good shoes, good sneakers that grab. That's an important point to tell them. You don't want people slipping on a slick maple floor that may have polyurethane or some kind of shellac on it. You got to be careful with that. And I would also just to tell you this one last time, you need backup. You can't do it yourself. You need backup. You need somebody to come and help with various skills that one person cannot have everything. So you need a bunch of people who act as a volunteer cadre. Okay, now I'll open it up to questions if anybody has them.
Hey, Art, do you mind if I add a little bit from my experience?
Please do. Please do.
So one thing that we focus on in Madison here is safety. Somebody falling and breaking a hip who has Parkinson's and normally needs to, create that dopamine, broken hip kind of puts them stationary in that, so that would be a devastating injury for them. So we focus on what can we do, what kind of setting can we set up so that we make it safe for all of our participants. And we don't have professional ping pong players in our group. We have some people that play very well, and we teach each other.
That's good.
Many of our volunteers are people who have Parkinson's also. So that's kind of nice, but it's also really nice to have people from the community to help with the volunteerism and again, to help keep things safe. One of the things that we requested from our community center was an AED availability, and some of these things, these safety features that just to make sure you know where those things are so that if there is an emergency that you can act promptly.
Good ideas, Karen, and we do that too. I want to add this. We should encourage the spouses to come, and I actually use the spouses. If somebody is really unstable on his feet, but standing, I have somebody stand next to that person so that they don't fall. And it could be the spouse. The spouse is a very good volunteer. Sometimes they come with aids. There are people with Parkinson's come with aids, and we ask them to actually do that too, so that we prevent falls doing that. There should be hopefully somebody who knows how to do CPR, and somebody maybe have a first aid kit by also. But you should have the phone numbers to call, and we have done that. And incidentally, I have to tell you, the person who broke his hip was a volunteer, not a person with Parkinson's. So it's just an unfortunate result anyway, but it wasn't a person with Parkinson's, it was a volunteer.
I wanted to share something. I will be filming for 3 days in Manhattan with promo for PingPong Parkinson, and these are the people that created. I will just share a 1.5 minute long video, if you don't mind, just to see the talent that they have. Just here we go. You see this?
Yes.
you go. I hope you like this.
You're gonna make us all cry, Nana.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is the talent that I will be working with.
I have one more thing, Nana, if you don't mind me interrupting. I forgot to say this, and I think this is probably a good thing to keep in mind. We actually started one new thing over the last couple of months. We actually tell jokes in the last 15 minutes as part of the facial exercise. The joke doesn't have to be funny, but we tell everybody they have to laugh with hearty guffaws. And the jokes can be something that you make up, or it could be something that you borrow from the internet. And that turned out to be pretty good. People get a kick out of that.
Yeah. Humor is important.
I have one more question for you. Who all should receive this certification training? Should it be just the leaders? Should our volunteers? What is your audience?
Whoever wants to be part of the family, who wants to organize the chapter or lead the chapter or be part of the leadership of chapter. Yeah. Not necessarily a trainer, not necessarily a coach, but somebody who would be in a leading position. We need consistency. We need people who are present. Like that's why I admire Art, because he's there with me from the day one. From the day one, he's there. He puts the chairs in the beginning. He folds the chairs at the end. He prepares the balls. It's a simple thing. There's no rocket scientist there, but you have to be there. You have to be present. You have to care. You have to be empathetic and have a patience with people, because our focus is problem. So he plays with people who can barely hit the ball. They miss the whole ball first 20 times. And Art has no problem with that. He comes and serves again. And we need people like this. So they are gold to us. They're very valuable. Lynn, did you fix your microphone?
Yes, I hope so.
Oh, yes, we can hear you. We can hear
Yeah.
you.
I'm sitting in north of Stockholm now and still working because of my shoulder. I broke my shoulder, so I cannot play just right now. I've been in New York and joined the one Wednesday evening with you and Art. I met Art first time, and Nenad. I was very impressive, and you have such warm group before you warm up, and everybody I myself say just I feel so welcome to those people I never met before, and I feel like the whole room is welcome me, although I don't know any of them or just only for a few faces. And that's the way you start with an introduction, several minutes to let people talk about themselves, and then the way you sing a song and talk everyday life, who is birthday next time you are going to celebrate, and it feel like family. You just come back from outside and into a warm family area. So that's what I feel.
Thanks for saying that, Lynn. And
Yeah.
That's one of the important things that every group should have that kind of effect on everybody.
Yeah.
And that's why people will come back. You look, you don't have to be a great player. None of us are going to be Ma Long. But the idea behind this is to have fun and to have his or her symptoms improve. And both of those things can be accomplished. And nice setting, so that when you go home, I mean, it's not like going to church, but you feel good coming out of church sometimes, and that's
Yeah.
hopefully the way people will feel.
Yeah.
I have to introduce Ronald Recep from Croatia. I think he's driving right now. Ronald, can you hear us?
Yes, yes. Nice to see you, all. I'm in the car. I'm now on the way to practice with our PingPongParkinson group. We have practice in 6 p.m. Central European time, but I am here. I am listening. Don't worry.
Yeah. Well, Ronald is in charge for Croatia PingPongParkinson.
Mm.
We had a tournament there in Varaždin, small town, which was once the capital. And that was very successful and very good. And my country is very slow. My country of origin is very slow, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Anyway, any more questions?
There's one thing I've found very helpful because I'm working with a mixed group, a lot of TBIs in addition to the Parkinson's, and with someone that is not able to hit the ball, which is very common, rather than scuffling to get them to hit the ball, I take the net off or play sideways and have them roll it back and forth, frankly, as slow as possible. You can teach proper grip, forehand and backhand, and that type of thing. It's very helpful for transitioning someone low functioning to being able to hit the ball, because everybody can succeed at that. And that's one of the things I find is important. You want them succeeding at whatever they're attempting.
A good point. I just want to say we do the same thing, Jim. We have them roll the ball when we're first teaching them, when they first come in. We do the same thing.
Yeah. Eugen, you have a question? Eugen Merz, yeah. You have to unmute yourself.
Yes.
His question is if it's possible for certified coaches to train other coaches in their environment. For example, if he at Parkinson Switzerland wants to train more coaches.
I can answer to you this. We are unfolding as we are talking. we would need a camera on your session so that we see how you operate the whole session, whole 90 minutes that we have. You can just put on FaceTime or Facebook or just simple iPhone or mobile phone camera, and so that we see what you are really doing. And after we see this, then we can approve your certification, and then you can teach other people. So if that's clear, because we trust that you have good intentions, but we want to see it, that you are doing something properly. You don't need to do everything what we do. It's not. But your motivation, your compassion, your skills, social skills, they have to be there. In essence, to transfer this knowledge to others, and actually we will appreciate if you can do that, so that we don't need to do that every month. That you create your own, center wherever you are and teach other people. And I'm telling you, it's going worldwide. This is just a sample of 21 people here, but I get up to 1,000 messages daily. This is crazy. I don't know how to handle it. Actually, it's overwhelming, but good feeling, of course. Did I answer your question?
Yes, I think yes. He has also asked if he has to follow your rules, or if he can also make something like a little something by himself, or if he has to strictly follow your rules.
No, you have to. It's open for adoption. We will love to learn something from you as well. So we don't have a knowledge of all of it. We just, as I said, we are never ready, but we do it anyway. So we will appreciate your knowledge or your challenges or your questions, or always question everybody and everything, but be truthful to yourself, and compassionate to others, you know.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else?
I have a question regarding finances.
Yes.
Yes, do you charge any kind of a monthly fee or anything like that for your participants? And is there a fee for becoming a affiliated chapter?
So far, we didn't charge anything. People just pay for the venue. So, and we will have an option for people who will open the chapters to have $8 per month, and they can collect whatever they want. It's just symbolic, because that we see that it's operational. But even if you cannot do that, it's fine with us. You know, so it is not money-making operation. We want to help as many people as possible, as soon as possible, and we are in a hunt for a cure as well. We want every stone to be turned and find a cure. So that's our goal. So
Relating to that, Jerry, I just want to say this. People who come to our group, the first time they come, they don't pay anything. We have to pay for the room, a nominal fee. And they pay, I think they pay $12 after the first time for the subsequent session. But get this, the volunteers are encouraged. They don't even have to be members of the club. They pay nothing. They are permitted to come and play without any fee whatsoever, which is a good thing. That was provided by Will Short. So that's one way that we were able to get some volunteers from the outside who weren't members of the club.
Different venues have different options. Some venues are given for free, but we have to pay for the coach. And some things we pay a little bit, but they give us a coach. So it's not one size fits all. It's whatever your condition, environment is, that you adapt to the situation. But you never lose people out of sight, which is help other people. You know, that's why we exist. So, any more questions? Otherwise, we can conclude this. I appreciate you staying with us for entire.
I guess I want to ask you, Nenad,
Yes.
if we want to start a group officially, like a proper one, and then we just contact you and connect the video.
Yes.
Yeah, and then you can look at our activities.
Yes.
And then we get a certificate.
Yes, we will send you the affiliation agreement, which is legal framework. We finally have something in paper, in the words, that will connect us all over the world. That we have legal documents.
Do you already have the form ready? We can fill.
Yes, we have an affiliation agreement that is ready to go. Yes.
The one you sent me.
I'm not sure. If I did, yes, I did, but I cannot remember honestly. It's so many things going on.
Okay. So
if you have any questions, we have also two people helping from Atlanta. They're not present today.
Okay.
We will accommodate. We'll accommodate whatever you need, or whatever we can.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Right now, I'm operating entirely as a one-man operation, and I'm volunteering. Are there options for financial support if I have things where I can spend some money to expand the program? I'm just not that familiar with what you're doing.
Well, we got donations. Even sometimes we don't ask, but people donate. Yeah. So you're welcome to ask for donations from your surroundings, where you are, and you can tell us what it is, but we are not going to look into your books. But we want to see that you are helping other people.
Okay.
That's all what I want. I want people who have compassion and who are active to do that, not just talk about it. Yeah.
May I say this also, Jim? One source of possible help that you might get is from the local high school. Some of these students, especially the juniors and seniors, can volunteer in some of these groups, and they actually get credit on their CVs when they apply for colleges. And it's a good thing for them, and it's a good thing for the group.
I have also very good news. The national USA team, women's team, is joining PingPongParkinson. They will open a chapter in Los Angeles.
Oh.
Also, they are coming to Slovenia, by the way. Shelake. The USA team is coming to Slovenia as well to help. So that's remarkable. These are women that are going to be studying medicine, and they're compassionate to open a chapter. They already have a first session, by the way.
Yes.
Jerry, you wanted to say? You have to unmute yourself. We cannot hear you.
There, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
I just want to know when the next one of these sessions is planned for, so that I can have a couple more of my staff able to join us.
I couldn't hear it, sorry.
Yes.
I didn't understand.
When are we going to schedule the next one of these Zoom meetings?
Okay. So, Art, can we do first Tuesday of the month?
Do the boss. I do whatever you want.
So first Tuesday of the month. Jerry, we answered your question. First Tuesday of the month, and Art will do it. If I'm not here, Art will do it, or somebody else will do it.
Okay. Have we set a time for that?
It can be the same time, but you tell me what is good for you.
Later in the day, our time, I'm not sure how that would fit with everybody else.
I really don't know either. This is all we try.
Can you send out an email well in advance? I have a number of people I would have liked to invite to this meeting, but I only found out on a couple hours' notice. I was not able to invite them.
So we will do it 3 weeks in advance. Next week we'll send it. Yeah. And then we'll have consistently on first Tuesday of the month at a certain time.
Yeah, but the email with the link would be very helpful for sending to these other people.
Okay. I promise I'll do that. Yeah. Did you receive the but email today, yeah?
Yes, I received it about 3 hours ago.
Okay. Well, lucky for us. But I agree with you. It's just sometimes we are operating in such a limited number of people, and so I'm glad that you could make it. So, are we concluding this? Shelake, you have anything to observe?
No, it was just very interesting to listen. In my daily job, this is my field, the way you run meetings and your program involving people, listening, a lot of different activities. So there's a lot to learn. So I'm eager to go to Slovenia, and I have to be very well prepared since I'm not having that much experience. But I will be prepared for sure, Nenad, and do my very best.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So anyway, we will conclude this. I will send this video to all of you. So if you want to check again what you said or what you are missing or what you didn't write down. So we have Jerry from UK, from England. Is there, you have anything to mention or?
Well, just to thank Art for his very informative talk. As always, there was one comment I wanted to make in that our sessions are 2 hours long. The people come to play ping pong. And to start introducing other things, other distractions away from the ping pong, I don't think would be very popular. But we'll have to try it on your suggestion.
Yeah. It's true. And I find myself as well, you know, I'm not sure if I want to
We
juggle
know,
it,
yeah.
of course. But you know what? Sometimes if you give kids to eat whatever they want, they will eat chocolate all day.
Sure.
And then they will,
Not only kids.
and their tummy will be hurt at night. So we do what is good for people.
We do, in fact, have somebody who's promised to come along and teach everybody how to juggle.
Well,
it's a step in the right direction.
It's a step in the right direction, and also it's fun. I remember flying from Dubai to Perth, Australia, and like for 2 hours I juggle in the plane, you know, because you know it's fun, and also it's aerobic actually, believe it or not.
Okay.
It's aerobic. You get tired, and I remember wherever I travel to Japan or anywhere I have a juggling bags and I juggle, and I don't know what it is about it, but it's just entertaining for me.
I would just add this one thing if I can, then. Oh, sorry.
You muted yourself. Art, you muted yourself.
Am I okay now? You hear me?
Now you're okay.
All right, look, I'm sorry, Jerry. I just wanted to tell you this: that you know, playing the ping pong is fun, and nobody would challenge that. Everybody wants to play ping pong, but I would bring you back to the essential point of why we're there. It's having fun is essential because they wouldn't come without fun. But the whole idea is really to improve their symptomatology. So ping pong is important, the most important part of the program, but it's not the only thing.
Okay. Martha, please ask a question.
Thank you, Nenad. Again, on behalf of my friend Krzysztof, question to Art. When you are leading your sessions, your meetings, do your participants say that those exercises are helping them? Is there any way of measuring if ping pong and other exercises, if they can stop the progress of the disease? Thank you.
Well, it's we have been witnesses that people who couldn't talk are talking, who couldn't walk are walking, and I couldn't play guitar and I'm playing guitar now. So absolutely yes, and everybody who comes is happier, and we are curbing the symptoms somehow. I don't know. There is no way to measure yet. But some people are actually in Slovenia. They are measuring by the speed of how can you stand up, and a couple of tests exist. And my doctor also said that I improved. So I guess that's some proof. But we are trying to. We are working with Manchester University, and hopefully we'll have a big clinical trial with 400 people. So. I'll let you know, all of you, when it comes. We will need your help probably. But right. Yes, it's beneficial. That's why we exist for 8 years. It's actually 7.5. Yeah. Okay, so shall we conclude this? And I thank you so much for all of you individually and collectively. And we have been on 4 continents. And that's fantastic. And I see a lot of smiling faces here. So thank you. Anyway, all the best. And I'll send you the video.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks,
everyone. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.